Good morning. Good morning, reptilians, and welcome back to my vlog. So right now I am taking a stool sample from Morty to the vet. When you get a new animal, it's always good to take a stool sample into your vet if they do it and get a sample for parasites, just so that you have a baseline of your new animal's health. So that is what I'm doing right now. Got poop in a bag and we're taking it to the vet. Okay, bye. So it's been about 4 hours maybe, and they've already tested Morty's fecal sample for parasites, and it came back all clear, so that's wonderful. And also I just picked up this basking platform. This is a really old basking platform. I think it's actually for turtles, and none of my snakes or anything would use it because it was just kind of tall and awkwardly shaped. And I just had it laying around for forever now, and I had my dad saw off the legs of it, so now it's just kind of like a flat platform, and Morty is having a little bit of difficulty getting on to this small rock here. And I could just bury it a little deeper. He likes to bask on that flat one that's buried, and I could bury that a little deeper, but I already had this, so I decided I'm just going to bury this and just make one big long basking platform. So I'm about to do that. And the 100-watt bulb that I had on his tank was doing good. It was keeping that basking rock up to about 98 degrees, and you want them to stay at around 100. And that was the top of that basking rock, which he's having trouble getting up to. And this is obviously going to be buried in the ground, so it's going to be shorter. So that bulb was 100 watts, and so I needed one a little bigger. And the dome that it was in didn't support anything bigger than 100 watts. I went to Petco and got a dome with a dimmer switch, which goes up to 150. So I got a 150-watt bulb. And the 150-watt bulb, for some reason, does not fit in the dimmer switch dome. That's for 150 watts. That was a lot to say. But it didn't fit, so we kind of did some dome surgery and got the socket that goes up to 150 watts and put the dome from the old one on it, and now the bulb fits. I don't know, it was a lot, and that sounds super confusing. But the point is that we got the spot where it needs to be, and now I can put this in and make sure I get it where it needs to be. Second update of the last 15 minutes. I guess I didn't account for the fact that this basking spot is made out of a different material than just a rock. It's actually made out of sandstone, which if you've ever been to the beach when it's super hot, sand gets very hot, and the 150-watt bulb was way too hot. And now that that sandstone is there, even though it's farther away from the bulb, my 100-watt bulb is only at about 50% on the dimmer switch, and it's at the correct temperature. That's kind of good news, I guess, but that means I did dome light fixture surgery for nothing. So, but yeah, I finally got it at the right temperature, and I really like how it came out. I did go ahead and leave that other flat rock in there because he was on orchid bark, and I've noticed that he has kind of a hard time walking on this softer substrate. He burrows into it and he likes getting into it, but when it comes to walking on top of it, since he's a clumsy baby blue-tongued skink, he's having a hard time. So I just gave him a solid surface to stand on when he eats. Just a quick tip, I guess, something that I like to do when I get a basking spot to where it needs to be. I like to take a white charcoal pencil, or you can use like white nail polish or whatever, to draw a line from the circular dimmer part of the switch to the base part of the switch. There's no indicator on the dimmer switch to show you where it needs to be to achieve those temperatures again. That way, just in case it gets moved or anything like that, you know where to put it back to. And just continuing from yesterday, I'm gonna try to work at Percy's nose a little bit again today. So as I've mentioned previously in videos, ever since Percy was on her bioactive setup and she scratched her nose, she always has a hard time shedding on her nose. So I like to use this Repti shedding aid, and I just kind of work it into the skin on her nose. I'm not pulling and I'm not pushing too hard on her nose, but if she gets a hold of that skin, she yanks it off and she always injures herself. So I just like to go in and try to work at it. Somehow this is a lot less stressful to her than just soaking in water, so I just prefer to do it this way. can see she's out staring at me, waiting, and this is the only time she ever lets me spray anything at her, so she knows. But you can see that kind of working that skin up, she destroyed her tank again last night, so we'll have to clean that too. But you can see working at that skin is already bringing it up a little, and I gotta do it again or else she will yank that skin off because she gets pretty aggressive trying to get her shed off. So let's get that off again.
And you can see that little flap on her nose. It's the same every time, and that's the piece that if she gets it in her mouth, she will yank it off. So I just try to be proactive with that and prevent open wounds from yanking skin off of her nose. And she does have a moist hide in her tank that she spends usually 3 or 4 days in when she's about to shed. But a lot of times if an animal is injured, then they will have difficulty shedding in that one area. And I obviously didn't get it all off, but we did make some progress, and we'll try again tomorrow.
Good morning, reptilians. This is like the first sunny day in over a week. It has been raining like absolutely crazy here, but I'm about to add some springtails to my Crescent Gecko's bioactive setup. I get asked a lot about maintenance on bioactive setups, so I kind of thought I would show you how I maintain it, which is basically just adding springtails. I originally ordered a springtail culture from joshsfrogs.com, and it comes in like a little thing like this. But a really cool thing about springtails is they repopulate like crazy. So I have this jar thing, and then I have these 2 very dusty Tupperwares. Ignore how dusty they are. They sit like actually on my floor where my dogs run through. Anyways, you don't need to know that. These are my other 2 springtail cultures. I just bought, like I said, the original springtail culture, a bag of charcoal, and some of this Spring to Life. And you just put a bunch of charcoal in different Tupperwares and sprinkle some of this on top and put like half of the thing of water, and they repopulate like crazy. And as long as you keep taking them out and putting them into tanks or whatever, then you don't ever have to really buy other cultures of springtails, which is really awesome. And last Repticon I went to, a stand was actually selling small springtail cultures, which I've never seen before, and I thought it was really cool. Anyways, I'll stop talking now. Let's watch me maintain Dexter's tank. How Dexter's tank is looking. It looks kind of dry now because I spray his tank down at nighttime, and it is currently morning time, so I haven't sprayed it, and he's sleeping somewhere, I don't know. But the plants are looking good for the most part. I do have this bamboo back here that I keep standing up. You can see it's growing like super tall, and I keep standing it up, but he likes to leap off of this stick all the way onto that bamboo, so it's not holding up. There's another bamboo back here. It's grown all the way up to the ceiling, so that's awesome. He likes to knock his water bowl off and his food bowl off if they're empty as a passive-aggressive way of saying, feed me. There's the water bowl. The first thing I do is kind of look under here. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see that. There are quite a few springtails under there. I'm pretty sure you can't see that. Anyway, but I need to get rid of some of my springtails and put them in there just because I like to make sure I keep that population up. I haven't put springtails in there in weeks, so I'm gonna try to put some in there just to make sure that population stays up, because they do break down waste and provide nutrients for my plants, and I don't want them to die this time. So what I like to do is take like bottled water, and I just pour water in there. And springtails float, so they're all just going to rise to the top, and then you can lightly blow on the surface of the water and they'll kind of spring into the tank, or you can just pour water off in there. I always am careful to try to not get charcoal in there. I don't know why. I don't think he's going to eat it, but I always like to be careful to prevent that. And you see they're all just kind of waterfalling off into the tank, and they're crawling all on that little piece of driftwood. Springtails love driftwood. So aside from the urates that I obviously need to clean out of his tank, that's about all the maintenance that has to be done on bioactive tanks. I always make sure to smell the inside of his tanks just to make sure that it doesn't smell bad, because once it starts to smell bad, then that means that you probably need to change out that soil. But it still smells foresty, gardeny, so we're good there. And with that, I am wrapping up this vlog. You guys seem to really enjoy my blue tongue skink, getting my new blue tongue skink video from Sunday. That, I think, grew the fastest out of any of my videos ever. So I'm gonna try to do another blue tongue skink video soon for you guys, so you can see Morty again. He's already letting me handle him. He's already out basking and stuff regularly, so he's doing really good. He's already eating and using the bathroom. Like I said earlier in the vlog, I did go ahead and take his poop in to have it tested for parasites, and he is all clear. So I'll try to do another video on him soon. And that's about it. If for some reason you want to see even more pictures and videos of my animals throughout the week, you can head on over to Instagram and follow me there at l.622, where you can do just that. If you like this video, feel free to like this video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. I put new videos every single Sunday/Wednesday. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.